This is a Reconstructionist radio production. Please visit calcedon.edu/store to download this book or purchase a physical copy. Intellectual Schizophrenia, Culture, Crisis and Education by Rosus J. Rushdoony. Copyright 1961, Dorothy Rushdoony and the Rushdoony Irrevocable Trust. Calcedon, Ross House Books. Appendix 4. The Flesh and Bones of the Child. In his delightful autobiography, Dr. A. Nakashian describes his boyhood in Armenia and his schooling. Education was of a limited sort and difficult because of the restrictions imposed by the Turks. Other writers have described the difficulties experienced with the government. For example, was once seized as revolutionary literature in code. The Turkish authorities were certain of proof in spotting the formula H2O. The H2 obviously referred to Abdul Hamid II, and the O, 0, meant that he was to be assassinated. Nakashian's mother took him to school and entrusted him to the teacher with the words, quote, "His flesh is yours, but the bones are mine." End quote. This proverb, commonly used, had a double significance. First, it gave the teacher authority to teach and discipline the child. The child belonged to the parents, but the parents thereby delegated authority to the teacher. Second, it gave the flesh to the teacher to be moulded or beaten as necessary, but with the bones, the basic structure, remaining the parents. Such education, while often seriously faulty, had still a healthy premise in that it did not assume the right to remake the child, but rather sought to develop him in terms of the family's and society's culture. Modern education is increasingly careless of the flesh, but claims the bones of the child, that is, the right to recreate the child in its own image. When the school is given the flesh but not the bones, the school serves as a cultural agency and limits its function to education. When the school claims the bones, it declares that right belongs to the school and preempts the function of home and church. The
Reconstructionist Radio Podcast Network brings to you a complete lineup of podcasts where you will hear practical and tactical theology. Our desire is not simply that you consume our shows, but that you also live out your faith in every area of life. We can talk all day long about these things, but if we fail to put them into practice, then we fail as ambassadors of Jesus Christ, our King. Subscribe now to your favorite Reconstructionist Radio Podcast Network shows, or you can subscribe to the Reconstructionist Radio Master Feed, where all of the content we produce, including the audiobooks and audio articles, will pop up as soon as they are available. And don't forget to visit reconstructionistradio.com to volunteer as a narrator or to partner with this ministry financially. May the Holy Spirit stir you into action for Christ and His kingdom.